insatiable. Hello, I'm out here hoping to be able to make a video before this storm comes in, and today I'd like to discuss the importance and innumerable benefits of training outside, or simply being outside more often. And recently I've been in the habit of doing my training sessions out here in the backyard of my house, and all I really need is this bench and a semi-flat area. Unfortunately, a truly flat space is not available in this backyard, but make do with what we have. So firstly, we can start with light sun exposure. So I've discussed in the past benefits of sun exposure and how being outside more can help realign us with the natural clock that is the sun, and this helps to reset our internal clock. And so I no longer use an alarm. I just wake up naturally every morning because I guess I'm so used to being in sync with the light cycle that the sun provides. And so I go to bed naturally not long after it turns dark, and then wake up naturally before the sun comes up. And this works really well for me. I know people have different work schedules, but being in sync with the sun is an easy and natural way to set the clock, our biological clock internally. Sun also helps, silly creature. The sun also helps to promote physical and mental health benefits. You've probably heard of people that live in polar regions or near the Arctic get seasonal depression because no sun during the winter, or very little sun, so it's dark most of the time. I think this is very evident of the fact that the sun is healing. Now, of course, overexposure for Caucasian people is damaging, but being outside regularly helps our skin adapt to more sun exposure. So I keep a nice tan generally throughout the year because I'm outside consistently throughout the year. I don't only go outside during the summer and get burned and get dark for a few weeks and then hide away from the sun the rest of the year. I stay outside all throughout the year because the weather is always beautiful, especially today when it's about to thunderstorm. But also I have the benefit of being in a nice wooded area. So I'm currently in the shade of some very large trees. I'm never, or generally never, in direct sunlight while I'm back here. It's dappled and diffuse, and so this helps me more easily avoid being burned. One other advantageous aspect of training and being outside more is we have the option of being barefoot, and it's another thing I have talked about a little bit in the past, but I'm not too well versed on the science behind grounding, as they call it, or earthing. I've just always appreciated being barefoot my entire life. I mean, my entire life. It has maybe varied in the consistency here and there, but my whole life I've always enjoyed being barefoot, and that was simply reason enough to be barefoot. Now, of course, I recognize the benefits of walking barefoot in how it supports foot function. So oftentimes while I'm training, I'll mix in a few laps around the backyard, real slow walking, rolling from heel to toe, trying to maintain even distribution of my weight throughout the foot. And that's a great practice. Walking really slowly, really intentionally. Um, Enjoying the tenderness of the grass and the sponginess of the soil, and allowing my feet and toes to articulate throughout their entire movement expression potential. And, if you don't have grass, then sand is a great place to start, actually. That'd be the easiest. Grass, forest trails. I love to go on hikes barefoot. But also, we should always just train barefoot. For instance, if I was going to do a hinge, now I don't have shoes influencing the way that my feet are planted on the ground or the way that I'm balancing on my feet. And so this is going to support a more natural functioning of or expression of this movement in general, which will translate into better functioning later on. And lastly, I would like to discuss briefly the aspect of the natural sounds and the ambience that being in an outdoor environment provides. Now, I live in a suburban area, and there's a somewhat busy road right down the hill here. So I do hear cars oftentimes. But because the forests in this area are fairly mature, it kind of buffers that noise. I'm often surrounded by birds, squirrels, cicadas during the summer, one of my favorite sounds. And right now, a gentle rain, the occasional airplane, but also the thunder in the distance. And all these natural sounds promote a more peaceful state of mind, which also facilitates more clear thinking and a deeper presence in the experience, in this case of training. But maybe you just need to be outside and immerse yourself in that. I also live in an area where people often keep their dogs locked up in the backyard, so I cannot avoid being aware of their suffering. But we're not out here to escape reality. We're here to immerse more deeply into it. And so we welcome all these different aspects and learn what we can from them. And so, yes, I encourage you to train outside. It's a great opportunity to check a lot of mental and physical health boxes while you're doing your practice, but also just finding opportunities to be outside more often is an easy way to facilitate healing in many ways. So find the opportunities. They are available. Good luck.